Hey, BassGeek here, and I've got even more stuff I need to show you. Guys, I'm going to run through this real fast. This is a big order. This is an order all the way back from the 25 days of Christmas, the Christmas sale from both Land Big Fish and some back ordered stuff from Tackle Warehouse, and a big order from TRC Rod Covers to make sure that I've got all my rods protected this season, so I don't go through the problems I had last season of tearing eyes out and breaking rods. Let's talk about the Tackle Warehouse stuff first. This is stuff that was all on back order that I got in just a little while back. One of the big sales they had was the Trocar hooks, guys. I'm trying to stock all my hooks and stuff up, so I went with the Trocars round bends, the XLs. That's 4/0, 3/0 there, the offset worm hooks, and I think these are some 5/0 right there. These are the EWGs. I needed some 3/0. That's kind of the go-to size, really. And then, you know, some flipping hooks. I was running real low on some flipping hooks, and I've actually still got some on back order. Probably not going to be able to wait on them. I'm going to have to go ahead and order because they're my go-to size, which is the 4s, 2 packs of their flipping hooks. And then here is, you know, a pack. You know, rarely do I flip anything this small, but every once in a while it does call for it. You know, even flipping, you can get finessey with, even though it's a power tactic. So you got some 1/0s, you got some 2/0s right there. Then we really get finessey. You guys seen me, you know, in the video, Don't Tell My Wife, which she found out 3 days later. But I needed some Wacky Worms hooks, which also doubles great as, you know, drop shot hooks. Here's the Trocar 1/0 drop shot. That's probably one of my favorite, you know, and like I said, I mean, I go from brand to brand to brand. These were on sale. I've used Trocars before. I use Gommies a lot. I use Owners a lot. You'll learn one thing about me is I'm not a brand loyalist guy. I'm a price loyalist guy. The best price I can get for quality stuff, that's where I'm going. Hence why I bought Trocar. So here's some Wacky Weedless hooks, something that I really want to try. I hadn't tried their version of the Wacky Weedless yet, and that is a 1/0, a 2/0, and here we go. Here's some more Wacky. This is not the Weedless, it's just a straight up Wacky. That's a 1/0, a 2/0, 2 packs of the 2/0s. I like that size a little bit better. The other thing that came in from them, I was missing one of my, I believe this, oh yeah, this is my bluegill color in a 1/4 ounce. I can't wait to try this when those bluegill get up shallows, getting ready to spawn, getting on those beds. Throw a little bluegill flash on this, or a little green pumpkin with a little bit of chartreuse on the tail, and I think this right here could catch some really big bass during the bluegill spawn. So that was one that they had back ordered. Picked that up. Again, this is all Tackle Warehouse back order. Then we get in to the blade baits. I got several blade baits, jigging spoons actually. Blade Runner tackle. This is the 1 3/4 ounce. I really like this color. I'm telling you, if you could see how that works. I don't know if you can see that on camera. That is Electric Chicken. This is the 1 3/4 in Morning Dawn. Really like the colors on these blades. This is the 1 3/4 natural shad, I believe. True Image UV shad. Like that a lot for some clear water. That may come in handy even during the summer, but during the winter time, you know, went a little bit smaller. These are the 3/4 ounce. And again, this is the Morning Dawn. This is the Electric Chicken. And this is the True Image Shad. So really excited about those. You know how I am. I like to fish deep, and those right there during the winter and during the summer could really come in handy. So right in the middle of this, I want to give a lock and lube. I won this from Team Jesus Outdoors. Guys, make sure you go check out his channel. He fishes up north, multi-species guy. Really good dude. Hopefully one of these days he's going to come down here. Maybe I'm going to get to take him out to South Holston, get to do a little Damiki rig fishing, something like that. Some southern smallmouth fishing. Ain't like St. Clair where he fishes. But I won this from his channel. This is the Lock and Lube. Now, he's a big fan. It's a grease coupler. It's supposed to be much cleaner. I can't wait to give that a try. Thank you. Thank you, John. Like I said, guys, go and make sure you check out Team Jesus Outdoors. Now, on to the Land Big Fish stuff. I realized when I ordered my original order from Land Big Fish, I did not order enough of these. One or two just ain't gonna cut it, so I needed to stock up on a little bit more. They had a sale going on their Strike King stuff, and guys, I'm telling you, I love these things. It just cuts down on the stuff you're carrying, and they're a lot more versatile. So, you know, if you like to throw a wobble head, Strike King makes an incredible wobble head that is, you know, easy to add whatever hook you want. So you can match the hook, whether you want heavy wire, light wire, whether you want EWG, straight shank. The great thing about this, 3/0, 2/0, 1/0, I mean, you know, if you really wanted to, you could throw a drop shot weight on there. This is something that I truly, truly love. It's versatile. All I have to do is put it, you know, in a little bag. This is my whole terminal tackle box right here. And you'll notice, you know, if I open this up, one of the things you'll notice is that this is every weight that I could possibly need. And right here, let's see, right here is actually how I store my heads, and that's every single head that I need for a wobble head. So not only, and that's a tungsten wobble head too, so not only does that save you, you know, space in your boat, but it also saves you money. You don't have to buy a 1 ounce with a 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, 5/0 to match, and then a 1 ounce. I just buy a 1 ounce and I put whatever hook I've already got. I put whatever trocar I already have on this thing. Me personally, I don't have any problems whatsoever with just putting the hook on there. It just threads on there real easy. I've never had a problem with it coming off, and I really love these. They save me time. Now, there's other companies out there that make versions of this. You know, Strike King was on sale. And what I did is I picked up several in the tungsten. I like the tungsten in the wobble head, and the reason why is because of the sound, the feel transmission. This is a bait that you want to keep in contact with the bottom, and you want to reel it really as fast as you possibly can. So you want, to me, generally the weights that I throw almost all the time, the shallower I get, the quicker I like to reel it. So for me, the weights that I like to throw generally is that 3/4 and that 1 ounce. I may look for some that are even a little heavier, you know, that 1.25 ounce weight to, you know, to get down to those deeper depths. But for right now, the tungsten, you know, I picked up 3 in the 3/4. These weights here I probably won't throw near as much, maybe a little bit on the half. Every once in a while if I'm up shallow. A lot of that is going to depend on how shallow and how fast I want that bait moving. And then of course I've got a 3/8 and a 1/2 ounce. I'm not going to work those like a jig, not going to hop them. I'm not going to lose bottom contact. I'm either going to work it like a Carolina rig and I'm going to slide and stop, or I'm going to reel it back to me. And a lot of times, and this is Tommy Biffle talking, the man that really made the Biffle bug and the wobble head the deal. Tommy Biffle says you want the heaviest weight you can get to be able to reel it as fast as you can reel it, because that's what you're looking for, is a reaction strike. And if Tommy Biffle says that, that's how I'm going to fish it. He knows a heck of a lot more than I do about it. All right. But anyway, like I said, what I like about these is, as always, cuts down on the amount of stuff you're carrying, the amount of weight you're carrying, the amount of room you need, the amount of boxes you need, and it works with stuff you already have, and it's basically a football head. All right, now on to a ton of soft plastics. Again, the Strike King stuff was on sale, so I bought a ton of it. You already seen, I bought a ton of these. These are some of my favorite things in the world, and they are the, structure bug. These were a couple of colors that I felt like I'd left out, or one color in particular I found that I didn't have any of, and really wanted this color. So June bug has worked really, really good for me on dirtier lakes. If you go back and you look at the Dale Hollow, it was either the first or second BFL tournament I was fishing last year during practice, the last day of practice. I had one pack of these. I pulled them out with flip jigs all day long with a bunch of other baits. And the thing of it is I don't think we took a single bite. We pull up, it's late in the day, last day of practice. We pull up to a bank, and finally I go, you know what, I'm going to pull one of these out. I've had so much success with them. And just so happens I seen that I had, because, my buddy Tim was flipping a jig. I'd been flipping a different color jig behind him, or different combos. And what I decided to do is put the jig down and pick the soft plastic up. And within the first or second flip, literally, I started pounding them. And I mean, after that, it was every piece of wood I come to. He was flipping a jig and couldn't get a bite. But I started throwing this, and I think he was flipping a 1/2 ounce. I was flipping a 3/8. So he went to a 3/8 ounce jig. That didn't entice the bite, but he did pick up, I think it was Strike King's like Speed Monkey. He didn't have any of these. Speed Monkey or something like that. I don't remember what the other one is. But he picked that up and started catching them. But the June bug in some stained water, we probably had 1.5 feet, 2 foot of water clarity. Always got to have some black blue flake. And here's a color that I didn't have any of, and this is the Delta Red. So it is a really bright with black flake red. And during the spring on one of these, man, this color right here might get you totaled. That's something that I'm going to give a try, especially out there for those big smallmouth. So I picked those up. One of the other things that I picked up, something that I do a lot of, and I fish a lot of rock, but, I haven't really used this bait enough, to be honest with you, and that is the tube. I fish a lot of smallmouth waters during the winter, during the spring, during the fall, and I don't throw a tube a lot. You can call me stupid right now, because, it's obvious that I am for not fishing a tube a lot. And, in clear water, too, clear water. So, I've kind of rounded out. I've got tubes. I've got all kinds of them, but I wanted to round out my tube selection. So I went out and I grabbed some tubes. And what better, guys, I'll throw that picture up one day. I met Mr. Denny Brower years ago. Actually got to break bread with him. He was in the same hotel. It was great. It was an honor. I love that man. He is a good dude. Denny Brower is awesome. But so what better than the Strike King coffee tube? And here you go. These are the colors I picked up. This is, of course, watermelon red. You guys know that's just one of my go-to colors. This color is the Goby-licious. The great thing about that color is it's got that kind of blue flake. It's sort of a laminate, and it's got that green too. Always got to have, I'm guessing this is a green pumpkin black flake. It is. This is the KVD Kick. Good looking color, got some gold flake in it. That is a good looking color for the spring. Watermelon Candy, green pumpkin, also a laminate. Can't go wrong with watermelon candy in dirty water. One of my favorite colors there. This is Smoke Gold Purple Lake. Can't go wrong with some smoke colors in clear water. And then this is the Perfect Plastics, or the 3.5 inch Pro model tube. This is pumpkin chartreuse tail. You know, again, around those smallmouth, a little bit of chartreuse, never hurt anybody but a smallmouth. All right. Now, yes, there's still more. So these next things I picked up just because, again, I had kind of depleted my stock of them. So I just went ahead and stocked back up. There's two different types of this style of bait, and I'll explain to you why I like each one and how they're different from each other. So I picked up some soft plastic jerk baits. Now, the first version of soft plastic jerk baits, the reason why I like these is because they're a single tail. The tail has a lot more action. The bait is a lot softer. They're not as durable as the other brand that I'm going to show you. But the thing I like about them is that they are very salt impregnated, which means they are very heavy for their size. So they sink quickly. So when I'm fishing, you know, clear water, let's say during the spawn or the post spawn, these things are going to drop quick and I'm going to be able to twitch them up, especially during post spawn. And something that I actually love to use these for, not only fishing up shallow around laydowns and that sort of stuff, put a belly weighted hook on them. Sometimes you'll see me do that to control the weight, but I'll put a belly weighted hook on these. And what I'll do is a lot of times when I'm throwing that swim bait out there and I'm rolling that swim bait, you know, maybe that 5-6 inch swim bait, I like to use the 5 inch in these. And if they're biting or they're pecking at it or they're hitting it, sometimes what I'll do is I'll pick a 5 inch up. These are the Strike King caffeine shads in the Perfect Plastic, and that's pearl white. These are great. These are the 4 inch. These are great, guys, when you're having a shad spawn. So that white right there, you'll see me throw a lot of times in a shad spawn too. But again, these are all 4 inch sizes. This is a 5. This is actually the one in the 5 inch, or one of the colors I'll throw when I'm fishing those clear waters in the 5 inch. I want it close to that swim bait, but basically what I use it for is it's the same way you'll throw a jig or some sort of soft plastic, you know, pitch it back in after a frog bite gets missed. The fish misses the frog bite. So what they'll do is they'll actually follow that bait and they're hitting that bait, especially, you know, not one boom, but you're fishing that swim bait in and it's dunk, 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 and they're just knocking the crap out of it, but they're not eating it. Well, what I do is I keep this on there and I keep it rigged up with like an 1/8 ounce belly weight, something that's going to be heavy because I want it to fall fast. These fall quickly by themselves on you know, no hook or no weight, but a little bit of an 1/8 ounce really going to get it down there. Throw it out there. I count it down. You don't make a long cast. You're not casting to where those fish were. What you end up doing is you throw it out there, you know, maybe about halfway between the boat and where you cast that swim bait, and you just kind of count it down 3 to 5, twitch it up 2-3 times, twitch it up 2-3 times. And a lot of times, if there were any followers, they're going to kill this thing, because what they're looking at, a lot of times what's happening when they're not taking that swim bait, they're coming up beside of it, they're just hitting it. And so they're expecting that bait to actually be, you know, to stun and to kind of stop and start, you know, slowly twitching down. When you throw that back in very quickly, a lot of times you'll get a bite on that type of follow-up bait. But like I said, so in the colors of them, this is Glacier. So this is a color actually I hadn't seen. It's kind of clear, so it's like a smoke, but it's got a little bit of like a purple pearl essence to it. Very, very shad-like in clear water, something that I like. You got to have something with a little bit of green back to it. So there is the baby bass. You know, that would be very good again around the time that those bluegills start to move up. And of course, pearl white, like I said, on the pearl white, that is a great thing to throw when you get around a shad spawn. Get out there and throw it right up in those shad, twitch it just to the edge of that shad, and a lot of times it'll get drilled for you. All right, now the other version, and I got a bunch of them, good old zoom. So I got two different types of zooms, okay? So I've got the regular Super Fluke, and I got the Super Fluke Junior. You know, two sizes, good all around. You know, should be able to cover about any size bait fish you got. These baits, nowhere near as heavy as the Strike King Perfect Plastics. They've got a much slower fall. They're a little more durable. They're a little different shaped, and you can do some different things with these than you can do with the Perfect Plastic because of the flat back. Now, especially keeping them up in the water column. If you see me fishing a fluke, most of the time I'm fishing the upper portion of a water column, shallower water. The reason I got two different sizes is because I'm looking at matching the hatch, as always. So, as always, again, shallower water, bluegill flash, right? Going to be looking to score on these around that bluegill spawn time. Now, this next color is one that I want to try during the pre-spawn and maybe into the spawn when the smallmouth are coming up on the bed. And this is the Electric Shiner. It's a very chartreuse, kind of electric blue chartreuse sort of color. Then, of course, we go into the Lavender Shad, another, you know, favorite. Put a little bit of chartreuse down the side of that bait, you know, something that the smallmouth will attack. The Arkansas Shiner, it's just a good-looking shad representation. You know, a little bit of a greenback, silver side to it. The Tennessee Shad. I mean, you know, come on, when can you go wrong with that color? Tennessee Shad is always a great color. Always another great color, always watermelon red. That is also another great color. This is a color that I really liked. It's an unusual color, but it is purple smoke. So it's kind of translucent, got this real pearl-esque, you know, purple to it. You know, good old smoking shad. You know, kind of a black back, silver side color, you know, very traditional. Then, of course, you've got the Pro Blue Red Pearl. So another great color right there. Again, love to throw that for smallies or largemouth. And this is good old bait fish, and it's kind of a bluegill-esque color also. That's all my Super Flukes. My Juniors, you know, got the Arkansas Shiner, got the Smoking Shad, got the Lavender Shad, Watermelon Red, got the bait fish, and got an albino color, which is really kind of like a smoke blue pearl back to it. So again, guys, you know, a lot of times on the double fluke rig, unless I'm really trying to get it deep, you know, that's what you're going to see me throw on the double fluke rig. They stay up. They've got a much slower fall rate than do the Perfect Plastic version of the soft plastic. But, you know, use them in a lot of times two very different styles. Like I said, one is heavier, one is actually a little less action as far as the tail goes. So, you know, maybe a little more subtle, a little slower fall when you're in shallower water, especially in that clear water. When it's when the fish are shallow, they're super spooky. So something that has a little less action, that's why we go with the Fluke. And I was running real low on those. All right, now the very next item really pertains to summertime, like I said. So this is summertime fishing, and you know, like I said, I save up and I buy these baits as the year comes around, or you know, as they go on sale. So something I want to show you about these baits is why I always buy the bigger version only. So again, Strike King and Zoom were on sale on Land Big Fish. That's why I picked these up. All right, during the summer when it starts getting slow, there's nothing better than a big worm. Now, a lot of people like the big ribbon tails. I like the big ribbon tails. Bass Munitions makes some great ones. But what I also like is a giant shaky head. Now, these are the bull worms, the perfect plastic KVD bull worms. This is green pumpkin candy. But let me tell you, these are the 10 inchers, if I can ever get this bag open. I believe, yeah, the 10 inches. Now they make these in, I think, 7s, 8s. But don't buy those, guys. Don't buy those. Now I know some of you are going to be like, oh man, you're wasting. Yeah, you can go buy those. If they're on sale and you got the money, yeah, sure, go buy them. But you know what? I just soon buy this worm right here. If I need a 7 or a 9, I cut it off right there. If I need a 7, I cut it off around here. And you still got a very girthy, yes, I said it, girthy worm. I really said that. And, you know, to me, a big bite, a lot of times, you know, those smaller fish, and guys, you know, man, I mean, a 6-inch, 7-inch bass will come up and try and eat this. But you know as well as I do, guys, your bigger fish are going to want that thicker, more girthy, 3 times, we're going to start a drinking game, worm that's, you know, that you can put out there. To me, that just entices those bigger bites, even if you cut it off and make it a 6-inch, you know. So I picked up a bunch of these. This was definitely something that my arsenal was lacking. I got a ton of, you know, old monsters, big ribbon tails, but kind of the, you know, big straight tail worms, I just didn't really have any. And you know, again, big fan of the Strike King perfect plastic stuff. So I just went ahead and picked them up. And the colors, you know, the green pumpkin candy, you know, for me, a little cloudy day, clear water, that's going to be a great color. The watermelon red flake, you know, that's a great clear water color, a little bit of structure around it. You know, dragging it on the bottom, the deeper, the less light penetration. Green pumpkin, can you ever go wrong with green pumpkin? I mean, when is green pumpkin the wrong color? Never. And here's, you know, a Tennessee River favorite, guys. If you're fishing the Tennessee River and you don't have this color, just get off the lake and go find it. Because I don't care what kind of worm you're throwing. If you ain't got this color on the Tennessee River, hell, you ain't catching them. Red bug. Good old red bug, guys. Good old red bug. That is a great color on the Tennessee River. Then, you know, got to go with some of our dark colors. Maybe do a little bit of night fishing. Guys, I don't like to do night fishing. I suck at fishing at night. I'll just be honest with you. But a good old plum in some dirty water sometimes can really get you a few bites that maybe you wouldn't otherwise. And, of course, dirty water again, black blue flake, right? When can you ever go wrong with a black worm? Hey, look, you pick up a green pumpkin and a black worm, you don't need no other color. You're going to catch some fish. All right, and good old June bug. That color right there really, like I said, during that Dale Holla event, really showed me how good it can be when you're out there in, you know, some stained up water with a little bit of sun in it. Now, like I said, Zoom was also on sale. Now, the Magnum Trick Worm is another one of my favorite worms to throw. Now, it's a little shorter. It's an 8-inch worm, but it's also got, everybody take a drink, great girth. That's right. It's got great girth. So, this, of course, is pumpkin. And, you know, that's a great color. It just looks like a big earthworm, I guess. A big old night crawler. Great color for clear water. But again, you know, they don't make them bigger than this. At least I don't think they do. But, of course, got pumpkin. Got the June bug. Gotta have it. You know, I like the color. Cover all my bases. I like the color. I like coloring books. So, I can't talk today. But, you know, whatever. I can't normally talk. You guys know that. A lot of ands, buts, and uhs in my videos. See. So, Magnum Trick Red Bug. Like I say, guys, if you ain't got red bug on the Tennessee River, just go home. Now, here's a color right here that I am pretty stoked about. This is something, I mean, I'm really jacked up about this. This is a killer color, guys. This is Killer Dawn. That color right there, I just believe that color right there and me are going to have a good time this year. That is a wild color. I mean, I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera. Got to have your plum. Again, another good color in stained water, dirty water, or at night. Plum apple. Yet another good color in stained water, dirty water, or at nights. Green pumpkin red. You know, take that up there, drag it around, put it on a big shaky head. Watermelon red. You know, guys, it's probably my favorite color in all of the universe when it comes to soft plastics. Here's another color that I thought was great. This is Electric Shad. Guys, I'm going to tell you, you see these colors? I don't want to tell you this because if y'all get out there and beat me to it, I'm going to be real mad. But I got a trick for these right here. These Electric Shad, that Killer Dawn, big Nico rigs out on the ledges this summer. You better hang on, boys. I'm telling you. That right there, don't go do it until I get there. So, here's another one, Watermelon Candy. Another great color. Love that color down on Top Secret Lake D. Wore them out. Helped out a bunch of guys a few years back. Green Pumpkin. Like I always say, green pumpkin and a black worm, and you'll catch fish. I don't care where you're at. And this is Sungill. So that is another color that out on those ledges I think is going to be immaculate. All right, guys, that is it for this. Oh, wait, nope. I'm lying to you. Last but not least, and I'm going to show you something. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Now I'm going to show you why I think TRC is the best rod cover on the market. A lot of guys are like, well, I don't even need rod covers. Well, guys, I'm going to show you something. Here's a picture of just my Baitcaster rod locker. Yes, that's a ton of rods. Okay? It just is. It's a bunch. All right. So, all that being said, here is an order that I got from them. And this is just my spinning rods, okay? And there's more of them in here, but these things they're awesome. And I've got one right here. This is one that I've actually had for a very long time. Now, one of the things that I love about these is that the mesh is tight, but also I'm going to show you this. You can pull this off. This does not pull off easily. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't just pop off. So the great thing about it is you can put it on, you know, on the co-angle side, on the passenger side of your buddy's boat. It's not going to come flying off going down the lake. Even if it does, this tip enables it to float. Now here's the other thing I like about these is it's very pointed. And I want to say thank you to TRC, man. They sent me this huge order. And really, I'm telling you, the more I use these rod covers, the more I honestly 110%, you know, I don't believe I know, these are the best rod covers on the market. Guys, they're going to be at the Bassmaster Classic. They're going to have a booth down there. I may or may not be there yet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off work to work the show down there. If so, make sure you come by and see me. If not, make sure you go by and see whoever's working it. They'll hook you right up. Make sure you tell them that you've seen these on my channel. You know, it helps me out letting them know that, you know, I'm supporting them the way I want to, because guys, these things are awesome. You can get them in a myriad of colors. You can get them to say whatever you want down here. I've got some that say BassGeek down here. You know, this just says TRC. Most of the time I get them to tell me the rod length. That way I know what size rod and what I'm using it for. But these things are awesome. And again, TRC, thank you for sending me. And this isn't even all of them. I've already got them on my bait casters. Thank you, TRC. You guys are simply the best rod cover out there. So I appreciate it. I've got a ton of them. You'll be seeing a lot of those in my boat, on my boat, to keep me from getting tangled and keep me from breaking my rods and reels, which I did. I broke several, not reels, but I broke several rods last year simply because I carry so many, and you know, they'd get tangled up. And this is going to help me actually protect my investment. So I'm really excited about it. Thank you guys. I appreciate all your support. As always, guys, put those questions and comments in the comment section below. You know I love to talk about bass fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. You guys be sure to ring that bell so you get these notifications so you can watch these videos. And I promise you, there are some good fishing stuff to come, and a collaboration that I'm not going to tell you about yet, but gosh, it's going to be awesome if it indeed happens, and it's going to blow your minds. You guys rock.